So welcome back to another FIFA 21 video. Today we're talking about FIFA 21 on next gen. Now even though most of the game does feel very similar, the main differences here with this next gen version is going to be on the field. So there's a few new features that EA has added this year on the next gen version in regards to gameplay that I'm going to go over today. So I hope you do enjoy. These are the new features in next gen FIFA 21. If you do enjoy today's video, please leave a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more FIFA 21 content. The last time I checked, subscribing is free, so please do so and help the
A new feature this year in the next gen version is something called ball deformation. This is when a guy takes a shot, you put your laces through the ball, a lot of power, you'll notice that the ball actually deforms, like it sort of squishes up a little bit where the foot makes contact with the part of the ball. So as you can see with the slow-mo here, you can see as the foot goes through the ball, you'll notice that the ball changes shape a little bit right there, as you can see, look at that. And then as the ball leaves the foot and goes back into the air, it'll start to expand again and become like a normal round ball. So that is a thing called ball deformation, and EA introduced that one to the next gen FIFA this year. I don't know if it happens with passes and stuff, I just know if you power up a shot, you'll see a lot more of this ball deformation in the game. Of course, this is a feature that you're not going to notice at all unless you actually go into instant replay, zoom in and then do the slow-mo stuff with the camera, and you'll see it like that. But otherwise, when you're playing normally, you're not going to see this deformation feature. Another new feature is something called muscle flex. Now when you see players running on the field and stuff, and in real life as well, your muscles move, as you use your legs and stuff when you play football. In next gen FIFA, this is now a thing, so if you go into the instant replay, you'll notice this more when you slow it down and stuff. Look at Vardy's legs as he changes direction, as he puts weight on his foot. You can see he's got the quad muscles that sort of, become more prominent. You can see that, and that happens as he changes direction with the ball. Look at that. I've paused it in certain areas so you can see it, but that will happen to all the players, I believe. I think even their arms sort of a little bit, but you'll see it more with their legs as they dribble, as they take shots, as they turn directions when they run and stuff like that. An exclusive feature for FIFA 21 on next gen is a new single player camera. I think you can use this online as well, but I'm not sure. There's a camera angle now that you can pick from called EA Sports Game Cam. This was a new one, and apparently it's meant to give you more of a real life broadcast type of camera. And this one is alright. I don't know if I really like it yet. I'm still gonna have to get used to it, play some more games, but so far it looks different, and of course anything that looks different looks cool at the start. So for me it looks cool because with different stadiums you can see different angles of this game cam, and also you can see the runners better a little bit. You can also see the crowd more when you play the game, and you just get a better aerial view of the field. Now there's sometimes where I think, I wish I had that old default camera. Sometimes where I think, this camera angle looks great. So like I said, I'm still 50-50 with it, but it's something that you should try out and see if you like it. It's going to come down to personal preference. Big goal moments is something new in FIFA 21 next gen. When there's a last minute winner, there's going to be more contextual celebrations and stuff. So as you can see with this example, De Bruyne scores in the UCL final in the last minute, and the coach runs over with the subs. De Bruyne meets him there, and they all hug and stuff. You know that it's a big goal because you can see it on your screen now. In other FIFA games, sometimes you wouldn't get the celebration you're looking for when you score a last minute winner, but now the game is definitely going to give you something like that. Here's another example. In the last minute, Salah taps it in. I think this was golden goal in one of the Premier League games that I did, just for an example. And as you can see, Salah goes absolutely crazy, and the game takes over this cutscene. You don't have to do anything, but Klopp runs over. And in the background, you'll see there's also fans that have managed to jump the boundary, and actually there's stewards there trying to contain them. So it's a big celebration across the ground, and it's pretty cool because you don't really see this in previous FIFA games. Now there's a few variations of this celebration depending on who you score with or where you score. And as you can see, Firmino's there celebrating, but then it cuts across to Alisson, who's going on a lap as well, like a Joe Hart, I think in 2012 when he won the Premier League in the last second. I think they're trying to copy that, but yeah, there's just one massive celebration now when you score a last minute goal, and it actually means something now. Before, you could score one and the fans and the players would celebrate like you're winning 8-0. There's a new feature called pre-match cutscenes. This is something that's going to enhance the pre-match broadcast presentation before you play a game. Now initially when I saw the empty seats, I thought it was like a Corona mode, but that's not the case. When you play certain matches like a big game in the Champions League or something, you'll see a variety of different cutscenes, like fans going through the turnstiles to enter the ground. If you play in the Premier League, before the match you'll see the players with their bags that just came from the bus, and you'll see them walking past the signs there, and it gives you a bit of a feeling as to the players entering the ground, which is something you would see when you watch Premier League games sometimes on real life TV. So that's pretty cool as well. It's just nice to have these new variety cutscenes before the match starts. There's also this one as well, Van Dijk coming in, and it depends on who it's trying to focus on. Like if this is your first game as a manager, you might have a cutscene like this one where your guy's walking past. And then you'll see this one where the players come straight off the bus as well, and it'll focus on a player depending on how they're going in a competition or something. And that was a nice one as well. But I think there's more to that. I just found a few as I did a few games. So next up I want to talk about loading times. This is something that's been advertised as well for next gen FIFA. You'll definitely notice a speed boost when you cold boot the game from scratch on your PS5 compared to a PS4. The difference is the SSD is going to be much quicker, and as you can see, it loads up within probably 7 seconds, but the problem is it's not that quick because you still have to log into the servers, and this process is actually longer than booting up the game now, so it does get annoying every time you see this icon here because it just makes things slow down. If they could find a way to get rid of this connecting to the EA server stuff every time, it would make things a bit more snappier, because right now this is the bottleneck in terms of speed in the menus. A nice little benefit that we get with the PS5 SSD is this feature here. You can see if you press the PS home button, it comes up with different tiles, which lets you actually change to different modes in the game. So let's say you want to go to Ultimate Team to career mode, you bring up the tile, you click career mode, and it'll take you straight there. You don't have to do anything else, the game will take care of it. And in a couple of seconds, we've went from Ultimate Team to career mode, and you can basically transfer anywhere you want in the game's menus and game modes. When you do career mode calendar sims, it's going to be much quicker than doing them on a PS4 because of the SSD, and usually it takes about a second a day, I would say, so it's much quicker. Sometimes with the old sims and the old games, you could go to McDonald's, get a Big Mac, come back, that thing is still going. This one is different. You know, in a couple of seconds, you're going to be skipping weeks, and in a couple of minutes, you're probably going to go through a whole season, so it's not as bad as it was before. In other parts of the game, when you press to play match, it'll just take like 1 or 2 seconds, and already you get a cutscene of the players walking into the ground, and in a couple of seconds, you're into a game. You don't have to do the training drill at the start before the game loads up and stuff. You can jump into the action straight away, which is nice. And then if you play just kickoff mode and you click play match, within 1 or 2 seconds, if you skip all the transitions, you'll get straight into the action. So it's very quick in those departments. Another new feature is like new hair strands or something. EA has advertised this as well, and you'll see on certain players, not all the players, but the more modern faces, the face scans that EA can do and stuff, you'll see a lot of hair movement now with the players like Messi, Joao Felix as well, Alisson the goalkeeper. You'll just see as they move their heads and stuff, the hair does the same thing. So it's very nice to see. Visually, the faces do look a bit better. Some players do benefit with like better hair, and that's definitely players like Neymar, Mbappe, Trent Alexander-Arnold and stuff. Some beards do look phenomenal as well now. It looks like real hair, like there's nothing else you could do with it. Not all the player faces, like I said, benefit from this, but there is a few that do, and when you see it, you'll notice it because it does look very nice. Maybe you won't notice this much when you're playing the game, but if you look at like replays or cutscenes and celebrations, you might see this a bit more. Now, I believe another new feature in FIFA 21 Next Gen is a new lighting engine. So when you play at different times of the day in different seasons as well, you'll notice that the pitch looks different, the light, the sunlight looks different as well. You'll see some nice shots like this one where the sun just makes its way onto the grass there and the grass lights up very slowly. So you'll get some nice visuals there. At night time, the lighting looks okay to me as well. I know a lot of people did not like the look of the lighting in FIFA 21 old gen, so hopefully this looks more realistic, more better for you. Another new feature is off-ball humanization. So you'll see players, you know, when the ball gets passed around, you see them pointing like Henderson does right there, telling you which player they want the ball to go to and stuff. You see this in real life as well, where players lift up their hands calling for the ball and stuff. Here's another example. Henderson's on the ball, you see Firmino pointing somewhere, and then he makes a run. So you'll notice this many times in a match. You'll also see players clearing their nose. You see this sometimes in real life football as well. Keita is in this example. You'll see as the match starts, him trying to clear his nose there. Nothing comes out, so don't worry if you're worried about this kind of stuff. It's completely hygienic, and yeah, he just clears his nose before the match starts. There's another one here, and as you can see, the player's putting his hands out, calling for the ball. That's another thing you'll see as you have the ball. And then there's also another thing here where Firmino's got the ball, he lays it off to Mane down the left, and the moment that pass leaves his foot, he puts the arm up and he makes the run for the 1-2. So you'll see a lot of this during the match. And then also in the 90th minute, it was 0-0 and we needed a goal, and you'll actually see the player that's there for the short corner lift up his hand saying, come on men, we need to, you know, get going. And that was a very nice thing that I noticed there. I did enjoy that one. And he got the ball there and we put in a cross, nothing happened. But you'll see these kinds of things. Now, when you win a game at Liverpool's home ground at Anfield, you might see Klopp doing his after-match celebration with the fans and with the players. This is what it looks like in its entirety. Another cool feature is if you play at the West Ham Stadium, you will now see bubbles before the match. Sometimes it comes during the match as well. I think I saw it when it was like the start of the second half. But before the game starts, you'll see bubbles, and then at kickoff, you'll see bubbles as well. It does look very nice, and as you can see, look at that, like all the bubbles everywhere, like it's a bubble bath. And yeah, that's a nice little thing there for the West Ham people.
So that's today's video. Please leave a like for me. Make sure you subscribe as well. We've got 65% of you guys watching the videos but not subscribed. If you want to know all the latest FIFA 21 news, make sure you subscribe right now.